Okay, here's our Mobility Wednesday. We got to get going because AJ's got to get out and go to her swim class, which I know somebody else in that swim class, by the way, AJ. I'll have to tell you that sometime. She used to be a neighbor of mine. Hi, Chrissy. Here we go. We're going to start wide today. Everything's wide. See how wide I am? Okay. I'm going to go step wide. I'm going to bring it back. And lest you think that you can just do anything with your hands, let me prove to you that that's very difficult to do. When you go wide and wide with your hands, and then if you take a step here and you just bring this, because that's kind of the natural flow of things. Okay, go opposite of that. See that? I know, you have to think about it. So when you're in a swim class, as AJ's going to go to a swim class, when you walk, when you do sports, a lot of times this is how you ambulate, see? Well, I'm going to tell you to turn that. So once you've stepped, take the opposite hand and open it. This is Mobility Wednesday. I'm getting AJ ready to do swimming, okay? I know, you do warm-ups to swim. Step back. So as I'm out here, I'm going to soften my knees. I'm stepping out. Now I'm going to shift. And I'm going to come up very wide. And I'm not going to come up with this arm. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to come up here. I know. And then come back. So you need to know that when you're doing these wide moves to warm up, everything is a fulcrum in the core area. So you need to know that, okay? So as I shift, see if I do too much at one big move, then I go back to this kind of a shifting. Now I'm wide, see? I'm staying wide, and now I'm gonna shift and stay. And I'm gonna lift this. And normally, I would say, okay, just out here like this. But what am I going to do? I'm going to do opposite. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to come up. See that? See that? And it's a toe tap and it's an up. If you keep falling off of this wide leg, you got to bend your knee. Okay? So bend that knee and then bring that toe off the ground. So we're doing side to side, single leg lifts. Take a big deep breath and then bring this one down and this one up. See, it's like this. Because what you want to do is this. But what I'm telling you is to make your brain do this. And then don't worry about coming so far up off the ground. Okay? Just lift your toe. This knee is bent. Bent. See, I'm toe tapping. Then I come to the middle, sit back into the heels, take a big breath through your nose, shift. And what do we want to do? We typically want to go like this, but we're going to go like this and then like this. See that? So I'm tight right here in the middle. I'm barely bringing my toe up, 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 and coming back down and coming back down. Take a big deep breath, step wide, and we would normally go like this. Remember? So I went like this, but what do I want to do? I want to turn and take the opposite hand out. Yeah. Because this is Mobility Wednesday. So I'm trying to get you to bring both sides of your brains in here. So stay wide. You're going to step. And what do you normally want to do? You want to do this, right? I'm telling you to do this. You got it? Take a big breath. Rib cage up. Drop shoulders. Big breath into the nose. Bring them down. Okay, so now a lot of movements through that. with stepping wide. So now I'm gonna be right here in front of my chair. If I cannot go all the way up onto the chair, what am I gonna do? I'm going to step into a lower rung, okay? So these movements that I'm going through right now to kind of warm your joints up and get you moving out of your range a little bit. When you go to step up that high, which I want you to, however, when you've had joints replaced, let's say you have feet that are not working quite well, whatever your movement challenge is, okay? And when you go to do a great big step like this, you're not ready. And what happens is you overbalance or underbalance. And so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get my little bar. So having a bar around to give you a point of balance really helps make everything work so much better, okay? Because once you get that knee up, take a big deep breath, drop the shoulders, big deep breath, drop the shoulders, big deep breath, drop the shoulders. If this is just not happening, then I'm gonna go on a lower rung. The point is repeated single leg standing, weight shifting, etc. is a very good thing to do on a regular basis, okay? So once you've done that, and let's say you want to try bringing that leg up, okay? No problem. Then you can hang on to your bar. If you need your bar, just keep it right there and hang on to it lightly. Because I would rather you do this repeatedly with a really good postural stance than over leaning, etc., or losing your balance, okay? But once you've gotten it, seriously, this repeated single leg standing, lifting, take a breath, lifting, take a breath, lifting, take a breath. Yeah, you could make it go into all kinds of fancy maneuvers, but I'm telling you, if you can do 30 of these right here, and I'm gonna do about 15 right now, and then I'm gonna do 15 later in the class, okay? So as you're doing this, and some of you might be saying, oh, let's go do something else. Listen, if you've had joints replaced and you have issues like anything with your ankle or foot, okay, like a dropped foot, right, Kat? This becomes quite the deal, this right here. And you're barefooted. So have this ready, okay? As a matter of fact, it's fine for you to do the whole thing with this. And once you've done 1 or 2 sets of 15 or 1 set of 30, that will have warmed you up. See, then AJ's ready to go swimming and she's gonna move better because she did some of this, right? Take a big deep breath, big deep breath. So I'm just hanging on, and then I'm gonna start my little swimming. See this? Yeah, I know I'm approaching probably 20 now. However, this becomes, again, if you've ever had foot issues, a turned ankle, anything like that, this becomes quite the task. Okay, so now we're going to stop on that one. We're going to turn our chair this way. We're going to step back. Take a big deep breath. Push that knee forward. Drop your shoulders. Big breath. My toes are forward. I'm really putting that heel down. Take a big breath again. As I push my knee forward, I'm going to take one hand. So now we're having to use both sides of the brain. So as I push this forward, I'm going to take this hand and go back. Okay, and be ready, because when you move your upper body any little bit, it's going to throw you and you're going to come off balance. So that's part of this Mobility Wednesday thing, is getting you a little off balance. Okay, there's a joke there somewhere, but I won't go into that. Okay. So as I'm down there, now I'm ready to bend that knee in the back. See, the knee is bending? Yeah. Now I'm going to take the other hand and go back with it. All the way back. Drop the shoulder. And when you do this, get ready. You're going to over or under balance. That's why I have you holding the chair. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Press, press, press. Drop your shoulders. Sweep that hand down. And now you're going to change your legs. Are you ready? Pull it up. Take a big deep breath. Before you go into bringing the other leg back, we're going to push our hips forward. Okay? Drop your chin. Drop your chin. Your ears are over your shoulders. And you're doing that first big back hyperextension. Right there. Drop, and your knees are softened. Pushing back, pushing back, pushing back, pushing back. Breath, 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 breath. And then come back out of that. So if you can do that back hyperextension several times in a day, I'm telling you, if you've had back issues, this is one of the moves that you need to do like through your day. It will help you so much to manage things like spinal stenosis, any kind of back issues that you've been having. This will help you to manage it. Okay, now I'm going to step back. See how I rotated back? And I drop that heel and I push into the knee, push into the knee, push into the knee. Take a big breath. Heel is down. Breath. Heel stays down. I'm pushing this knee forward. And what I'm going to do with my hand? I'm going to take the opposite hand from the leg that's back. Keep it here. And I'm going to take this hand, the leg that's back, and bring it open. I'm cautioning you, when you start to move your upper body, you're going to rock and roll. Be ready to press down on your chair. Drop your chin, push back. You're opening that shoulder. Take a big deep breath. Big deep breath. Drop your shoulder again. Then come back. Now we do the opposite hand. Okay, so both. So my palm is down and I'm pushing my little finger back to my midline. I'm keeping my chin tucked. Take a breath, drop my shoulders, take a breath, drop my shoulders, take a breath, drop my shoulders, and then come back. Big deep breath, push that forward, and then bend the back knee. Bend the back knee. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, all the way back, and then come back up. Okay, now to end this segment, before we go down into our lower moves, which I am going to be in the floor. You can be on the chair, however you want, but I'm going to stand here. And if I'm having a lot of trouble with my hips and I'm just getting back into things, maybe I had a hip replaced. This is when I would use the pad on the chair. Okay, so the first big sit to stand. We're going to do a little experiment here. And I'm sitting on my little pad. I'm going to come back up, take a big deep breath. And I didn't say anything about it. But when I went to sit down, unless you're thinking about it, typically we always do this. See what I'm doing? Right. I want to drop my chin on purpose. My feet are chair width wide, so that's a little wider. I'm going to push back. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. So why do I want you to do that? because I'm trying to help you with better neck and head physiology. So as I'm coming down, I'm going to keep my chin tucked. Once I'm down, okay, then I can turn and my chin is tucked. It's not reaching out, it's just tucked. Okay, I'm going to grab my little chair and pull. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. See, I'm going to keep it back there. Big breath through the nose. And then I turn and I turn and I turn and I keep my chin tucked. Keep my chin tucked and then I come back. So those really carefully done turns with your chin tucked, big facilitator to moving better, huge. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to come back. Now we're going to do 4 sit to stands, and I have this pad here. That's a 2-inch drop, okay, or lift. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to stand, okay. I'm going to sit all the way. I'm going to stand. And as I stand, I'm wider than the chair with my feet. My chin is tucked. I'm breathing in. And then as I come up, I exhale. Okay. Breathing in. See? Keep my chin tucked. And then I exhale. Okay, one more. Breathing in. All right. And then exhale as I come up. Okay. Now, I think that was 4. Watch this. See this? I'm going to use it again. But now I have to go down 2 more inches. And this is the point. Everybody thinks, I know, when somebody comes on and they try doing some of these things and they're like, oh my, I didn't realize. So now you know what that felt like. Now take the pad out. Are you ready? So push your butt back, keep your chin tucked, come all the way down. See the difference? All the way up. It's a difference. That's why when you're getting warmed up and you have joint issues, you have back issues, you have all kinds of, we have people with autoimmune diseases, lupus, you have osteoporosis, you have all these kinds of stuff. And we have our birthdays to consider. Give yourself a break. I'm trying to show you how to ambulate or move from a sit to stand, which is touted and out there, which is true. One of the most important skills you've got to keep. And so many times, you know, as I'm, you know, visiting friends and family or talking to people or just observing people moving around, this move right here is hard to do for a lot of people and for lots of reasons. But the biggest reason is because we haven't worked through these mobility moves on a regular basis, and we've lost strength and we've lost range of motion. Okay, and I'm going to come back up now. If you wanted to help yourself, you could go and get a lower little stool and go into this. Okay, so I did that. I started the progression with just this simple thing. So we did our first sit to stands with the pad, correct? Then I took the pad out, and now we've done several sit to stands with dropping 2 more inches. So I'm telling you, I'm giving you a technique here to get stronger and more mobile. And it could be as simple as, you see this little divan, little couch thing, little love seat that I have here. My little doggies are laying on it. Go ahead and keep using the chair. I'm just going to show you that when you go to sit into a divan, generally it's lower then a kitchen chair. Okay, I'm gonna go wide, number 1. I'm gonna push my back, just like my butt back, sorry. I'm gonna go down into this lower, very compliant surface. It's not firm, it's squishy, right? Then I'm gonna drop my shoulders, take a breath, exhale, and come up out of that. And I'm gonna do it several times. So in your little studio, wherever you're at, in your room, I will bet you that you have a lower type of a couch or a lower stool or something. I am telling you, if I sent a little pledge card out and I said, here, you pledge to me that you're going to do 30 sit to stands, and you're going to do it twice in a day, and you're going to do 30 on a kitchen chair, and then you're going to do 30 at a little lower platform. This is lower. Now, if you don't have a lower platform right now, that's fine. Stay right there on the chair, but I'm doing it lower. So now I've given you 3 platforms to do this extremely important move. Okay, take a breath. Don't hold your breath. When you're going down, that's when you're exhaling. So you're going to breathe in right now. And you're going to come up and exhale. Take a breath. Exhale and come up. You make sure your feet are in line with, and your knees are tracking over your feet, however they are, which I hope they're pretty straight. So here's the deal. As you're going down, whether you've chosen your kitchen chair because that's all you have right now, and you don't have the pad on there, or whether you've chosen a lower area to sit to stand, you're breathing. But here's what you're not doing. And I will do it unless I'm thinking about it. When you're in a lower area, what are you going to do to get up? I know. You're going to ask somebody to pull you, or you're going to go like this, 2, and come up. Okay? And if that's not you, well, hallelujah for you. But I'm telling you that that's what we typically do when we're trying to get out of a lower, very soft couch. So I'm saying scoot to the edge, take a big breath, number 1, breath, then act like you're leading a choir and really push back into your heels and come up. Don't jerk. Don't have somebody grab you. Don't use your hands excessively to pull yourself up. Now, that said, I know there's a lot of people in lots of different situations with their physical challenges. I understand that. But this move right here, you better be good at, and you better stay good at it. And that's why I'm doing it and emphasizing it this morning as we're doing our mobility challenges. Now I'm going to add one more little wrinkle. Are you ready? I'm going down. And now, instead of having my feet in the same line of motion, I'm going to scoot one leg out and one leg back. See that? One leg out, one leg back. Oh my goodness. Now we're going to get up. And unless you have trained yourself in good postural alignment in order to stand up, you're going to go through all kinds of weirdness to get yourself up. You might even need your little bar. That's okay, as long as you don't get your line out of whack, okay? So I'm going to come right here. My one leg is back. My one leg is forward. Just a couple of inches, 3 to 6. Then I'm going to leave my choir. I'm going to lean in. I'm going to push my butt back and come up. Now, if you had a knee replaced, and see, this is my knee replacement. This is my hip replacement. But this I can do. It's going to be challenging because you're going to push your muscles very differently when you're in a staggered stance and going to sit down. See, don't go sit down, just act like you're going to. See this? So what did I do? I emphasized rib cage up, drop my shoulders, keep my chin tucked, and then push the butt back. And as you come down, don't drop into that seat. Make these joints more mobile by forcing them to move in this particular staggered stance. You got it? So I'm going to stand up one more time in this stance. Ready? Breath and lead the quad and lean in. See, don't do this big jerk. You're going to lean in, you're going to push into the heels, into the feet of the heels, and you're going to lead your quad. Breath and come up. And if you had to do a great big jerk in order to get up with your feet in this stance, don't say to yourself, oh man, ooh, that's too hard. No. Don't jerk. Use a pole. It will help you. Watch this. Okay, see here? So instead of jerking like we normally would do, I'm just going to use this. I'm going to do the same stance. And I'm going to push just a little until I can get to where I don't have to do that. Now I could have a chair here and use that. So now I'm going to bring my foot back. I'm going to take my other foot out. See that? So here I am, staggered stance. Here I go. I'm going to push. I'm going to push. I'm going to push. And I'm into a very soft lower plane. Now, if you're using the chair, it's going to be easier. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to leave my quad and I'm going to come up in the staggered stance. Okay. Big breath into your nose. Drop your shoulders. See, I'm only forward probably 8 inches. My one foot is back, my one foot is forward. I'm going to come down, I'm going to push my butt back, take a big breath, push and come up. Okay. Try your best not to hold your breath, and try your best not to jerk. You want that move to be very smooth. And it's going to tell you in this staggered stance as you sit down and stand up a lot about how your hip, your back, your hip joint, and your knees are functioning, as well as your ankles. Okay? So little by little, you keep going out there. See, that's what you're trying to move toward. But do not hold your breath. So take a breath in. As I come up, out. Exhale. Breath in. Exhale. Don't round your back. So it's a hip hinge. Keep your chin tucked. And it's an exhale. Breathe in. 2 more. Out. And an exhale. I don't know about you, but I'm getting warm. Yeah, now it feels like Michigan in summer right now. And take a big deep breath. So let's recap. We did wide work, right? We did wide work. We worked with our upper body to get it going in opposite directions, correct? We did wide stance. Then we did a pad. I gave you 3 different variations of sit to stands with a pad quickly, because I want you to really register this. See, I'm up far enough now that I could do some swinging leg work, because this has brought me up 2 inches. So I'm going to lean back, see, and I can bring those legs up one at a time. Yeah. So I'm back, shoulder blades touching, chin is tucked, and I'm doing little kicks. See this? I have dorsiflexion going. So as I come up here, I'm going to go point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Shoulder blades are touching. Chin is tucked. I'm all the way back. I have 2-inch platform here so that I can swing my legs. This is a good thing because we're going to revisit this on Friday with our leg weights. I'm just letting you know. Okie dokie, you see how I'm doing this? This is great work. Squeeze tight and then do one at a time, okay? And I have you on the platform because that's our first variation of sit to stands. So now I'm going to come into and a sit to stand. Then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to see how that feels. Go all the way down. Now you've dropped 2 more inches. Sit to stand. Then I encouraged you to go to a lower spongy kind of a sit down, which is my couch is here. It's lower and very much more spongy. If you have that, then use it. If you don't, then continue with just your chair. It's a lower. And then do your split stance in your sit down. See this? Big breath. Toes are forward. Don't turn that toe out, okay? Take a breath, and as you come up smoothly, don't jerk. Don't jerk to get yourself up out of the chair. This is the key. These 3 little maneuvers that if you will persistently do about 30 reps, okay? Now, with slugs, I usually say 3 sets of 10. Doesn't sound so bad. Kathy's rolling her eyes right now, I'm sure. Okay, see how I'm coming down? Do you see this? This is a very important little maneuver right here. This, rib cage up, pushing into the heels and down. This makes you use this back leg more as you're coming down. Switch it, okay? And if you have multiple joints replaced, this maneuver is a big maneuver. It's a big deal. This is going to keep your independence. And again, if you sign that little pledge card for me, here I go. Are you ready? Chin tucked. Take a breath. Exhale and come up. Don't hold your breath because it's going to be a big effort depending on which leg, which knee, which hip, which foot, whatever gives you issues. All right. This is a management technique. Here we go. And come back up. I'm going to do 2 more on this leg. 1 more. And I'm coming up. See that? Yeah. So you have the ticket for independence right now with what I just did. With the 3 different variations. And it's a matter of, you could do this. Heck, you could do this while you're watching your favorite movie, right? Sit to stands. Okay, here's my pad. I'm going to put it here. Okay. Now I'm going to be 2 inches lower when I put my feet on the pad and my hands on the chair. See, I just raised myself 2 inches. But it gave me a nice spongy padding for my feet. Okay, so now I'm going to just lower myself down and I'm going to pull my elbows in and I'm going to go into a fold and I'm pushing into my feet into my heels and I'm lowering my elbows. Okay, then I'm going to rotate into the balls of my feet and lower the elbows. See how I went back into my heels and then I shifted into the front part of my feet so that I feel it more in the back parts of my arms and I just press up. And by the way, when you go into your toes, you should be feeling it right above your knees on your thigh. Take a big deep breath. Elbows are down, 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 down. Go as far as you can. Then come back. Take a big deep breath. All the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Press into those hands, into the hands, go into the toes of the feet, and then come back. Okay, dokie. Big breath. One foot in the middle. One leg back. Say rib cage up. We're going to go up with the heel leading. Take a big deep breath. Rotate those elbows in. Hold it right there. Go point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Take your opposite hand of the foot that's down and just hover above the chair. Okay? This is going to make you work really, really hard, and you'll have to like put your fingers down, just hover. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, and bring that leg in and that leg in. Okay? Now take the other leg up, and we're going to go out with it. Okay? Drop your shoulders. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. And now tighten the tummy, drop your shoulders, and hover with your hand over that chair. And you're going to be going all over the place. Okay, don't over or under balance. If you do, put that hand down, put the foot down. Okay, breath, breath, breath. Hang on, hang on. Yeah, you're pushing into the chair with your hand, your opposite hand. See, I'm wiggling my fingers. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. And then come back in. Yay. So what we're doing is a form of the quadruped. So now I'm going to reach my hand out there. Now that I'm used to the pad, keep my shoulders down. Then I'm going to come back in, go to the other foot. See, I'm not holding it a whole long time. I'm just getting it up, getting my foot up, getting my hand up there, reaching out. You know which side you tend to be unstable on. Get ready for that. See, I've locked my little thumb around my chair here because this is my challenge side, because this is my hip side that's replaced. So I need a little extra help to stay in line there and then come down. Then you're going to push back. You're going to push back into the heels. You're going to drop your butt, drop your butt, drop your butt. Hang out down here. See, I'm on my little pad. Drop your butt, take a breath, and then come up. And right now you take your, I don't care which leg, and you're going to put it on the other side of that platform. See how I'm sinking into that heel? And it's behind. This leg is straight. Then I come back up. And when you have joints replaced, I am showing you some great modifications for mobility without compromising those replaced joints. So see, I'm really stretching through here. My toes turned, this foot stays straight. And most importantly, my back is not rounded, okay? Then I come back up and I come right back into here, okay? Then I'm gonna go forward, and instead of coming here, I'm gonna go this way. See, I'm gonna point and come down into, and it makes this ankle move all over the place. So if you go forward now and you bend as far as you can, like you're gonna come down and touch the floor, do not round your back. See how I'm coming down and touching the floor with my foot across? And then I come back, and I come back. Now I'm gonna take the other foot and go in front, step as wide as I can. And then I'm gonna come down and act like I'm gonna touch the floor, but I am not gonna round my back. Not. All the way down here, see? all the way down, breath, and it makes me pick up my heel, it makes me work my ankle, and it makes me work my front here. Then I come back, and I come back. Take a big deep breath. Then I'm going to take my pad out and go into our classic, it's a modified runner stretch. Because why is it modified? Because I have my hands on the chair. Then I'm going to bend my knee to come down. Now, if you have tender knees, it's fine to have this under your knee. Go ahead and use it. That's fine. I don't have that problem, especially on this knee. I don't have the problem on my replaced knee either. But you see, I'm in a modified runner stretch by using the chair. If I didn't use the chair, it would be like this, okay? And for some people, there's no way without rounding their back that they're going to do this, okay? So I'm telling you, use the chair. I'm giving you that. This is an acceptable modification. So now what I'm going to do, I've worked arms, upper body, I've worked legs in all kinds of ways. I did one hyperextension, a big one for the back, but now we're going to really focus on core. And how are we going to do that? From this little move. Who knew? Take a breath, press down. You're going to press into your toe. See how I have that toe pressing down? And if that bothers you, you should use this pad under your toe. Yeah, you. Okay, so I'm going to push. I'm going to take a breath. And I'm going to bring that knee off the ground by doing a very smooth rotational move. So it's going to go press right there. So that little space right here, from here to the floor and back up, is a huge deal. I cannot emphasize that enough. And if you're doing this with me, if you're doing this whole thing with me, you know, if you have a replaced hip or replaced knee and you're starting from right here to get up, you're going, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm going to do. Because it's a sticking point. It's about 3 inches of a sticking point. So it's a very easy thing to use either a little pad, your hand here. But see, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to bend my back. And I'm not going to jerk. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to use a little bolster here. You could use a yoga block, a can of food, your weights. You press here, and you don't round your back. You push your butt back, get the knee off the ground, and then come right back down until you get strong enough to come up and then come down. Take a breath. You're going to feel it here. You're going to feel it. Use this if you need to. Take a breath, come up, come right back down. This is core. This is legs. This is back. Big breath. Oh. So you just got to persist in that motion and get that done. And at first, you're not going to be able to. Don't get discouraged. Use this. Don't jerk. Squeeze and come up. See? Then bring that leg up. So this is all core stuff, y'all. And I'm doing it from this one move in a modified runner stretch. So here I go. I've switched legs now. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. I'm going to keep my shoulders down. And I'm going to bend the back knee. And I'm going to come down as if I were going to get in the floor. or pick something up or whatever. Julia had it right when she was here. She was going to bring M&Ms or some kind of Dove chocolates, and we were going to throw them on the floor and make everybody get down and pick them up. So here I am, and I have to get up. Well, what am I going to do? Well, unless you're working through this with me, I'll tell you what you would do. You would hold your breath, number one, and you would go like this. That's what you would do. Okay, and I want to try to avoid that. And if you have a problem with a knee, put your pad under your knee. There's no reason to hurt it in order to do this. See, this is my knee replaced side, and it really does feel better to put that pad under it. Okay, take a big breath, drop your shoulders, push into the toes, push here, press, and come up. And then come back down. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath. Core, tighten the tummy. And then come back down. And if you'll use that pad on replaced knees, this is very doable. Okay? Do as many as you feel you can. I'm going to do about, 6 to 8. So drop the shoulders. And here's what I don't want you to do on this Movement Wednesday, the Mobility Wednesday. I don't want you to do these repetitions, especially this move. I don't want you to do it fast, okay? You got to feel the muscles. You got to breathe properly. As you're coming down, you're exhaling, okay? Get ready, breathe in and exhale. I'm sorry, as you're coming up, you're exhaling. Breathing in and exhale. So the sit to stands, the little sit to stands that we did, the 3 different variations that I gave you, actually 4, and this move, oh my goodness, if you got really proficient at this move, that means you have to practice it. You will keep your independence in much of the mobility of getting in and out of cars, using a John, no matter where you're at. If you're out over traveling, you have to use a squatty potty. That is the reality of it, y'all. And come back down. Okay, last one. You ready? Okay, now, not the least of which, when we're doing that particular exercise, your little feet are getting quite the stretch, okay? And the push. So if you're needing to strengthen through your toe box, that's the one that will help you do that. Okay, so here's my little pad. I'm gonna go ahead and do the move and get on down. So I'm gonna go into the floor. Not to worry. You can do most of anything here from the chair, okay? I will show you. So I'm gonna step wide. I'm just gonna go down a different way. You can go down using the chair, that would be fine. I'm gonna come right here, and I'm gonna go to a 3-point stance, and I'm gonna do it a couple of times. And so if I were in the chair right now, my feet would be wide, and I would be touching the floor in front of my chair. And then I would rotate, touch the floor in front of my chair, and you feel the stretch in your groin. And if you don't, you need to go a little wider and drop the hip, 3-point stance, right here, 3-point stance. Okay, big breath. Okay, see how I'm going back and forth? So this is the setup for the next move that I'm gonna do. I can do all of it here in my chair. I can get great stretch. I can rotate just like that. And if you wanted to do this and work into a lower chair, of course, you can always use your lower one, okay? So as I'm down here now, I'm going to simply lower into my knee. See how I turn? Can I put my knee down? Okay. So this is a good chance now, again, to use your pad because we're going to do some knee work as well as core work. So I'm going to be on the pad right here in front of my chair, and I'm going to do sit backs. So this is a different kind of sit back. Okay. A lot of times we're on the floor and we're not doing sit-ups, we're doing sit backs. So what I'm going to do, and now this is especially for people with knee replacements. Okay. So see how my feet are? They're flat. And I'm going to do a hip hinge. And I'm going to go down as far as I can. And I'm going to use my hands on the chair and just push into that one knee as much as I can. Now, if you have both knees replaced, then you're going to not be able to go too far on this next one that I'm going to do. But on this one, see right now, when I go into here, I really feel it in my knee. And I know that I shouldn't push it too far, but I do want to keep that bend in my knee. So see how I'm going forward? See how I'm going forward to help open up the hip? I'm going to go pull that chair in, and I want to push my hips forward, drop my chin in, take big breaths. This move not only opens up through your spine, it's opening at the hip flexors. And that's what you got to hear. Because some of us that are faced with hips that are replaced, knees are replaced, we've had hip dysplasia. We've had a lot of hip trauma, a lot of fluid on the hip, around the hip. That inhibits your mobility. See this? See what I'm doing? Oh my goodness, I'm pushing my hips forward. I'm pushing the front of my hips forward as I go back. And it is really opening that tight hip, okay? Then I sit back. See how I'm gonna go back? I'm gonna put my hands in the chair, and I'm gonna lower my hands if I need to, but I'm sitting back as far as I can, sitting back. Now, I'm going to take my knee replaced side, and I'm going to put it right here, right beside the chair. See that? Then I'm going to do my sit back on my other knee because I want to keep that knee as mobile as possible. Okay. And as I do that, see, this is the hip replaced side. So my knee right here beside the chair, I'm guiding myself down as low as I can with a very flat extended back, keeping my chin tucked, and I'm going down here as far as I feel I can. And then I'm going to come back up. So I'm going to go down till I really feel it starting to heat up. Then I come back up. This is my okay knee. This is my hip replaced. So this helps keep me safe with my hip, but I'm pushing back as far as I can for that knee mobility, because I can't push that far with this knee because it's just tight, okay? And you want to maintain it, but there's only so far you can push a mechanical knee. That is the reality. Okay, so now I'm going to put that knee down, and I'm going to bring this knee up, and I'm just going to see if I can sit back as far as I can. I'm going to push my hips back as I'm going down. Now I could make this one real straight and get an extra stretch from that, which would be fine. And then come back in. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders, drop your chin, push your butt back, come down as far as you can. Set your butt down as far as your knee will allow you, and then come back. So again, you can only go so far on a mechanical knee. Okay. Take a big breath, and I'm going to just sit in the floor, okay? Now, I'm using my little pad here. See that? This little pad can be used in so many ways. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to pull that little sucker right up under your legs as far as it can go, right there. See that? Okay, now I'm gonna lean back. I'm gonna make my fingertips point toward my hips. I'm gonna open my shoulders, okay? I'm not sure if Kay's on this morning. I think she's traveling, I'm not sure. So I'm leaning open, see that? This is up here as tight as it can be. And now what I wanna do is bring my rib cage up because I have to get my back really up there, okay? Then I'm gonna just go through the knee. I'm gonna do little tiny presses. See that? So I'm up 2 inches because this thing is 2 inches. You could use a roll if you have a roll, a pillow if you have a pillow. I'm just using this because I know a lot of people have it. So you lean back and then you do lifts. So you bend at the knee, go down as far as you can, and then lift those heels by contracting your quads. Yes. Every time you do that, drop your shoulders. Say rib cage up. Yes. Take a breath. Woo. Here we go. Squeeze. So we're doing contraction and we're hanging on. And then you do point flex, point flex, point flex, all the way around with those toes, all the way the other way. And at the same time, see, I'm contracting hard right here, right here. Then if you want a little more from just one move, okay, you simply take one hand up. So I'm right here, I'm back. See, I'm up here like this, and I go down, I go, whoo, and then I go like this. See that? And then I might go like this. And I'm going 1 breath, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm not counting right, but anyway. Don't round your back. Try not to use your hand, either one, or try not to use them. Breath, 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 breath. Oh, come back up. Take that pillow out and rotate. So hips replace, knees replace. Yes, this should be within your scope, and this should be done regularly. See, I'm not laying down on this because I knew I wanted to use that pad in kind of a sit down kind of a way. See how I'm rotating? I keep my shoulder open. Then I'm going to rotate, keep my shoulder open. Take a big breath. I'm going to rotate, keep my hand back there. I want to keep my shoulder down and open. And I'm rotating all the way back and all the way around. See that? Yeah. Then I'm going to go from there. And I'm just going to come to my split stance knee. See that? And I can do the other one as far up as I can. And then the other one goes back. This one won't go up nearly as far. But you're going through those motions. It's very important. Okay, take a big breath. Toes are down. One more last push on your core and your tummy. So fist, and then let your knees off the ground and hold, hover, hold, hover, hold, hover, breath, 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 breath. Put your knees down. Take a big breath. Drop your shoulders. Keep your arms straight, not locked. Here we go. Bring your knees off the ground. Hold, hold, hold. Stay with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you come up, settle, and then you can come up. Okay. Woo! We made it just right. Give yourself a big hug. Drop your shoulders. Give it a little turn. So we went around the bush a different way today, y'all. But I hope you'll give some thought to some of those challenges I gave you. I know you will, because nobody out there is a slug.